Welcome everyone, welcome everyone. How you guys doing today? Welcome guys, welcome. At this moment guys, at this moment we in October. We soon heading for the ending of October. And this is, we in the fall, and in the fall is when I like to come out and really walk in my garden, walk with the soil. So what I'm doing today guys, I'm actually putting food in the ground. All these food that I'm putting in the ground here, in the fall, in the spring, they're gonna come back and produce food. So today I'm walking around today, and I'm looking at all them food that I have on top of the ground, and I'm basically gonna be training them in the soil. So what I'm looking for today is eddos. These are eddo heads that I have, and the good thing about it guys with eddo, you could plant them back. You see all these is food, all these is eddo heads. And when you put these in the ground, they come back in the spring. So what I'm doing, we in the fall, and the good thing I love about these, you can plant them now and harvest them next November, next September. All right. You also can be, look, this is the plant right here. This is a plant right here. And when you harvest them, I'm going to show you how they look when you harvest them. But this is the eddo plant, and this is what happened. When you plant them back now, they come back in the spring. So depending on what zone you're in, you could plant them and still the frost would not do anything to them, depending on which zone you live in. So all this is what I'm doing. I'm planting. This is like planting a fall garden to me. The only thing is you're not gonna be harvesting them now. You're gonna be harvesting them next spring. So shout out to everyone. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. So basically what you see we doing, and now what we do, we put soil over them. And once we put soil over them, we naturally know, we know for sure we have food coming in our garden for next spring. The truth is, I think about what I'm growing, guys. I think about what to grow, because what I'm doing, it got to make sense to me. So in the spring, okay, these are the eddos. This is when you harvest them. This is how they're looking. When you harvest them, this is how they're looking. So planting back your crop now, and then in the spring, the good thing about it too, guys. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome in, welcome Win, welcome Melina, welcome Carter, welcome. Thank you, Win, thank you. Yes, my day is doing pretty well. My day is doing pretty well. Yes. So guys, yes, what I do, I like to put in the work in the fall, in the winter. Because when you put on put in the work in the fall, in the winter, in this season, it works out really well for you. So now is the time for you to be walking on your soil. Now is the time for you to be collecting seeds. You see, these are seeds from my okra. Now is the time, guys. Now is the time. Don't wait until it's too late for do that. It's important for us to get our seed together, and all these here we have potato. All these is what we're gonna be putting back in the ground. But first, before we use these, what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be using all these because we have a lot of them here. You see the weather is still good. They already start pushing out their root. But even they push out their root now, by when the cold weather start, they're gonna, the cold weather gonna put them to sleep. But once they go to sleep, we're gonna see they start waking up in the spring. So if you don't know about the eggplant, a lot of people know it by different name. A lot of people know it by cocoa. A lot of people know it by different name. There are also two others, which is the Dashin and the Tanya. They all operate the same. You plant them now and you harvest them in the spring, in the fall. You could also plant them in the spring. But my thing is, why wait till the spring when you could plant them now? So when the spring come, you have less work to do. You could focus on other plants. Let me show you a few of them that already start coming up. Let me show you a few of them. But what's gonna happen is they're gonna lose their leaf and they're gonna go right back to the ground because the weather will be too cold. So if you're dealing with the colder weather, you know for sure they're gonna go back to the ground. So like this one, this is one that now start coming up. I now plant them because what happened, I had them planting in this whole area here, all right, and I harvest. So all these little one is what came out of my harvest. So they're just here sitting. But these are the tops I put back in the soil, and if you notice, watch, they already start coming up. But once the cold weather hit them, they're gonna dry down. But just like how you see they coming up here, this is how you're gonna be seeing them coming up in the spring. Look at next one coming up right here. All right. So this is how we create our free garden, guys. We create our free garden, and we only have to, when the spring come, we just take care of our plants, make sure we take care of them, add soil around them, put the soil around them, and we good to go. So now, how we create our free garden, we create our free garden, you see, look, you have more here. But all these areas already replant already. Look, look what, you see, look, there's one coming up here. And look, there's one coming up there. So all these areas already replant. But we're not gonna be looking for nothing here until next spring. Next spring, you're gonna see a whole patch of them comes up right here. All right? Okay, look at here, a top plant, and it's coming up right there. So guys, sometimes depending on where you live in, hey Sheba, how you doing? Hey Peggy, how you doing? No, this is not elephant plant. This is not elephant plant, this is edos. Edos is different than elephant ears. All right? Edos is different than elephant ears. Edos you can eat, Tanya you can eat, Dashin you can eat. Elephant ears, you cannot eat elephant ears as far as I know. All right? Yeah, so now guys, how we make things easy for us, we start working in the fall. We do all the work in the fall. We make sure we plant back all our meadows, dashing Tanya in the fall. Now, we make sure we get pepper seed. We get all our seed. Like you see, we have pepper here. We make sure we get our seed, we dry them. And we start them from indoors. We make sure we start our peppers from indoors. So when the spring come, the peppers them ready to go. So you want to make sure you get that soil going. So when the spring come, your pepper ready to go. Because you can harvest a whole lot from your pepper if you able to plant them start them from indoors. This is for the people who have to deal with cold weather. If you're in the tropical, it's different. But once you got to deal with the cold weather, the smartest thing to do is starting them from indoors. Don't wait out. Don't wait until spring to now set in seed, because you're not going to get nothing from them. All right? Yes, you could do that with certain squash, certain plants at 45 days. You can do that. But when you're talking about peppers, start them from indoors. You see, look guys, for the people who don't know this channel, guys, I'm going to show you a 9.5-foot bell pepper tree. This bell pepper tree is 9.5 feet tall. All right, and it's, as you see, it have some real massive bell pepper on top of it. All right, so for the people who never saw them, so what I'm doing with these, I don't want to harvest these. I want to wait till they're fully ripe, because these seeds, we save in these seeds, because this is almost 10 feet tall. These seeds is very mature at this point, but I'm going to allow them to go long a little more. You see, real nice big bell pepper plant. So how we do this, guys? How we able to get, you see other peppers over here as well. How we able, right, peppers, how we able to get our peppers to produce so much and able to get so much pepper from them? Well, guys, it's always smart to sow your seed, like your pepper seed, at least 6 to 8 weeks before the spring, right? Before planting. Well, I just take them at least 2 months before planting. I don't do 6 weeks. I do at least 2 months before I start planting them out. Even my eggplant them. Eggplant, I do eggplant 2 months. I set the seed indoors at least 2 months before the spring. So if you know that the spring gonna be April, your last frost gonna be March, and then your last frost gonna be April. You make sure you have these seedlings set by February. January, February, you make sure you have them. And all you're doing is trying to keep them growing, trying to keep them alive. That's the motive. Because, you know, sometimes we set seed indoors and they struggle so much. Sometimes you lose some of them. Sometimes it's challenging. But when you're dealing with seedlings indoors, because it's important, this is how you could create a free garden. Yes, a free garden. When you start indoors, you want to make sure that the plant is getting the warmness, something to keep it going, keep it surviving, because it cannot be too cold. So you want to have them in a room that's kind of warm. You want to make sure that you don't water them too much, because watering them too much can be a situation, can cause a problem. Sometimes the water, you see they start turning leggy, then you see they start falling down. Sometimes it's before you think about watering them, it's best for you to just Dip your hand down in the soil. Like for instance, you put your hand down, and if you feel any moisture, you leave it. If you don't feel no moisture, you give it a little wet. But you really don't want to overwet them, because sometimes too much water cause problem and you end up lose the seedlings. And I'm telling you, it's very challenging. So now a lot of people set seedlings in like cup, like one seedling in the cup. A lot of people do that, and nothing is wrong with that, but I don't do that. What I do, I will make like I will draw lines. Let me just show you for a minute. Like I will draw lines like this. Lines. I pull lines. You see like that? I pull another line. So we have two lines there. And now I'm gonna take the okra seed, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just throw it down in there like that and cover them back. Wet them and just cover them back. You understand? So I believe this works really well for me. So instead of me have to have 15 cups, I can just have a container and lay them out just like how I now show you. Sometimes when they start growing, you might find they start getting leggy. And when you start seeing they get leggy, sometimes people get discouraged, sometimes people throw them out. But throwing them out is not the right thing sometimes. Now, if you find the plant is getting leggy, what you do, you take some soil and you start building it up around the plant. So if you find the seedling is getting leggy, you add more soil to help build up the root of the plant. All right? Hey Sheba boss, how you doing? Hey Dozy, how you doing? Hey Peggy, blessings everyone, blessings. Yes, blessings everyone. So yes, you can create this garden, guys. I create this garden last season, and it did not cost me a dime to create. Every plant I sow from seed. Every plant I sow from seed. And if you're able to sow them from seed indoors, take care of them, bring them outside in the spring, take care of them, I guarantee you, you will see, you will feel proud of yourself, because you know everything starts from seed. And for what we're seeing today, we realize today that starts, you can buy starch from the store, and what we notice, the start from the store is really expensive. Some places you can buy a start from the store for $5, $4. You could buy from the store, and you understand. So starting from seed helps you to create a bigger garden with way more plants, and you feel good about yourself because you know I start these from seed. This is how you create free garden. Now, when we talk about soil, let's talk about soil for a minute, because soil is the essence of what we're doing and what we're talking about. So with soil, so important, so important. Our soil is so important. Now, many times, all these leaves that fall from out the ground, you see these leaves that fall from the ground, you could use them back in your raised bed. All these weeds over here that dries down, you can use them back in your raised bed. All right? You have banana tree, you could cut down the banana tree and you can use them, like in the fall, you can use the leaf, you can use the body of the banana, and you can throw it in a pile and allow it to break down. You can also get all these leaves, all these weeds here, bring them and throw them in a pile, just like what you see going on here. We using the plants we grew in our compost pile to create a compost pile right here. What do we have here? We have plants that we grow. We have banana plant. We have tree limbs. We have weeds that grow up in our garden. So this gonna become a compost pile that we can get free compost for ourselves. All right, and nothing is better than free this type of compost. Nothing is better than this type of compost. When you create a natural garden, when you create a natural garden, is very much well rewarded in many ways. It's very much well rewarded in many ways. How do it rewarded? Because you're creating it natural and you're not adding anything to your garden to make it to get rid of the earthworms and all the bacteria as we know needed in our soil. So a natural garden draw the bacteria we need in our soil and keep them there, and that's what we want. We cannot get rid of them because they are the life of the soil. They keep the life of the soil. All right? Anyhow you get rid of them, I'm telling you, you'll be surprised, guys. You will be surprised how much bacteria or insect or whatever we want to call them is in a handful of dirt. A handful of dirt, you will be surprised if maybe if you put them under a microscope or whatever, how much can you really, how much is inside them. So they work perfect for our soil. They work perfect for our soil. And without them, we're gonna lose a lot in our soil. We're gonna start seeing our soil start getting sandy. We're gonna start seeing our soil getting so weak. Our plants not gonna produce as they should, you understand? They're not gonna produce as they should. The substance, the nutrients that the plants, the minerals, all these things, we're gonna lose them out the soil. And when we lose them, the plants is not gonna strive to the best of their ability. So our goal is to make sure that we maintain our soil in a natural form. We maintain our soil in a natural form that when the time comes, we could have a successful garden season. Like for instance, right here, as you can see, all this is potato vines. We put back into the soil. This is a container that we take here, and what we do, we pack it up with soil and weeds, and this gonna break down right here, guys. This is how we create natural free garden. The only thing you have to do, the only thing you have to do is starting from seed. Because if you don't start from seed, say for instance you want to plant down this whole area with all different type of plants, and you got to go to the store and purchase. You got to go to the store and purchase a plant for $5. You could spend $500 in just plants alone. You see where I'm coming from? But if you have your seed and every plant, every crop you grow, make sure you grow enough and make sure you save seeds. Make sure you save seeds. All right? Now, this eggplant, you see they're still producing really well until this day in October. These eggplant produce so much eggplant this year. You know, it's like every time you wink, there's eggplant coming. Look what I'm trying to say to you. You see, we have we still have eggplant coming. We still have flowers coming. We still have eggplant coming. Watch here. These eggplant produce so much. And you know what, guys? You know what? Hey, Icy man, what's up? Hey, Dozy, what's up? Blessing, blessing. Hey, Mohammed, blessing, blessing, guys, blessings. Yes, you know what? I tired. I always give out this like a secret, but I have a secret recipe that works real good for eggplant. A secret recipe. Hey, Myra, how you doing? A secret recipe. You get cabbage leaf. I'm gonna give you all this recipe and I want you all to try it. And when you try it and it works for you, you come back and you tell me, yes, planter, this thing works. Now you have cabbage leaf and you put it in a container, and what you do, you cover it. You cover it with some water and just leave it there to marinate for about 3 months, and then just feed it around your plants them. Feed it around your eggplants. Let me show you the plants. I'm gonna show you some plant study that I have used that around and shows you how these plants produce. First of all is the eggplant. Doing good. What's the recipe? Full blessing, blessing. All right. So now I'm gonna first, before I give you all this recipe, I'm gonna show you guys the production of these plants. So now, as I now mentioned to you, the eggplant them produce really, really well and still producing unto today. This bell pepper here is one of them. Produce really well. The limb was so, it popped the limb because the pepper them was too heavy. If go over here, all these eggplants here is where I use this thing. This pepper tree here, this massive pepper tree here is where I use it for. I'm just showing you because I want you to see something. This is a cayenne pepper. This is cayenne pepper. I never see cayenne pepper so big yet. This is my first time seeing cayenne pepper this size. And what is so great, they all come from the same seed, which this is the cayenne pepper. I didn't add any around this one. You see the regular size. I add some around this one and this one. I never see cayenne pepper this massive before. They all come from the same pepper. Like when you open up a pepper and you take out the seed, they all come. But look at the size of the pepper. Look at the size. And look at the size of this pepper tree here. These are the plants I've used this method with, and it's almost show me magic. No, so let me give you the recipe. No, if you have a container, you could have a 5-gallon bucket. Whatever you have, you can use. What you can do is you fill the container or you half the container with the leaf of the cabbage, and then you add some water right over the container. So when you add the water right over the container, then you just cover it and you leave it for at least 3 months. You could shake it, you could give it a little shake from time to time, but allow it for at least 3 months. And I'm telling you, you will be surprised. So guess what? In the early spring, this whole area here was cabbage. All go down here was cabbage. Cabbage and cauliflower and broccoli was down here. And what I did, I take all their leaf and put them in a container with water. And listen me, these things has shown me some real result, guys. So when we think about, I'm not here to tell anyone not to go to the store and buy anything. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to show you that what I'm actually doing works. So don't believe I'm here telling you, oh, don't buy. No, I'm not doing that. You got to decide that. From looking at my plans, looking at my results, you will have to decide that for yourself. So I don't want nobody believe, oh, I'm telling them not to go to the store. No, I can never do that. All right. Myra say, going to bed. All right, Myra, blessing to you. Good evening. All right, so that's the one of the remedy. I have several of them. I'm gonna give you another idea. Let me give you another idea how to get free, how to make free liquid natural fertilizer for yourself. And this is for free. I'm gonna tell you this, and this will be another great, you're welcome. This will be another great idea for you to try. Now, we walking around and we taking leaf from every plant. Like now we walk around and we strip the leaf them from the eggplant. We strip the leaf from the sorrel. We strip the leaf from the pigeon peas. We strip the leaf from the marigold. Walk around and strip leaf from every plant you have. Every plant you have growing in your garden. Walk around and pick leaf from all of them and add them in some water and allow them to break down until the spring. I guarantee you, you're gonna see something you never seen before. Walk around all your leaf. Like you come to this plant and you just pick some of the leaf them. You understand? You go and you pick leaf from all the plants them. You come around, even your okra plants. You pick leaf from your okra plants. You pick leaf from your eggplant. Every one of them. Because remember, this thing is loaded with nutrients. Remember that. They're loaded with nutrients. So if you pick them now and you add them into the water gonna draw all their nutrients out of them and just have them sitting, diluting, and just waiting for the spring. So when the spring come and you start pouring that around your plants, you realize the growth, you start to see some growth that it's just surprising to you. How it's just surprising to you for the growth you start seeing. Try it, guys. Try it and let me know how it work out for you. So this is how we create free garden, guys. When we say free garden, we mean without spending money, without spending any cash. We save our seed, which is the essence of this thing. We replant when we harvest. This is a head here. This is the head of the head. If you see it now, if you see it start producing roots, and if you notice, it's getting ready to push out the top right there. So now what we want to do is plant this back in the soil. All right, so when we plant this back in the soil, we know we have food to harvest next spring. So this is how we have a free garden, guys. We save our seed, we replant what need to be replanted, and we start our garden from our seeds from indoors. Indoors is one of the best thing you can do. Sometimes some people use grow light, or you could have a big window with a lot of sun. That could work perfect as well. You cannot expect too much growth inside because it's indoors. When you bring them out in the spring, that's when you're gonna start to see the growth. All you're doing is keeping them alive inside. That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to keep them alive. You're not trying to get them to grow, because trying to get them to grow, you mightn't be that successful because it's indoors. They're not getting the sunlight they need. They're not getting the air that they need. You're just trying to create an atmosphere for them that they can actually survive. All right? Remember, they're not indoor plants, they're outdoor plants. But the reason why you doing it, starting it from indoor, the only reason is because if you don't start it from indoors and you start them out in the spring, then you're not gonna get enough growing time. Because say you come outside in the spring and you start planting them, start sowing seed in March, April. March, April, you gotta wait till maybe May, June, May to start planting. Then when you plant them, you still gotta wait a couple months before you could start see the flowers. By that time, you realize the fall is here. So you're not gonna be able to get nothing from them. So this is why you gotta start them indoors, or if not, you're gonna have to buy from starts. Starts is going to the store or the nursery. But like I'm saying, buying from the store and the nursery is pretty expensive. So if that's what you wanna do, you can do that. But for me, like for instance, right? I have over 20 something bell pepper tree in this garden, right? Over 20 something bell pepper tree. And that's them right there. 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet, all eyes bell pepper tree. Now, these are bell pepper tree I start indoors, and it didn't cost me a dime. But if I had also buy 20 something bell pepper tree, do you see how much it would have cost me? It would have cost me a pretty good change. So it's not, so now if you save your bell pepper seed, it can save you a lot of money. This is a sorrel plant I have here, and the sorrel plant is doing pretty well, doing awesome. Doing awesome. But the thing is, I have to allow them to, I mean, you could harvest them now because you have the petals. But if you're looking for seed from them, it's important to allow them to open up their flowers and get pollinated. And when they open up their flowers, this is the flowers here, then it closes right back in. Okay, let me show you. Like this one here. You see this? This one already opened up its flowers just like this one. So this is where the bees goes in and get them pollinated. So now, after they pollinated, they close back up, and now that seed, the seed that they produce is good because it already get pollinated. But if it ain't pollinated, then the seed wouldn't be good. The seed wouldn't be good because it have to get pollinated. So before, if you know you're looking for seeds, please make sure you allow them to open up like this. And when they open up like this, they're gonna close back in like this. Then they're gonna close right back in, then you see them like that. Then you could harvest. You see this one? This is one right here. It's already opened up. It's already produced the flowers. Now it's closing itself right back in. So just like this is how you harvest them. This is the right time. Don't harvest them before this happen, because if you harvest them before this happen, you surely not gonna get, the seed is surely not gonna be pollinated. So think about it. So if you're trying to save seed from your sorrel tree, please make sure this they push out that flowers and close itself back in before you harvest them. All right? So seed is important. Seed is important. Now, all what I have here, everything that you see here is what I'm going to put back in the ground. We have the okra. Look, we have okra here as well. We're not going to set the okra seed now because it's too early for that. If we set the okra seed now, it's way too early. We got to wait till next year before we set okra seed. So the goal is make sure. Look at this. You see this, guys? This come from a 9-foot bell pepper tree. This peppers here, this seed come from a 9-foot bell pepper tree, which is the same one over there. This seed. So these are nice seeds you want to hold. All right? Beautiful, healthy looking seed. So this is it. You make sure you save your seed. If you grow potato, you could always save a few pieces. Your eddos, and I'll show you how you can do it. You could just put back all these eddos back in the ground right at this moment, and you have food shoots coming up out of the ground in the spring. The bell pepper, you cannot plant them now. You got to start setting them maybe January, up in them areas. January, you can start setting your bell pepper. You know, your okra, you could start your okra February, March. You could start your okra. These, once you're living in a zone that the outdoor freeze too much, you can put these back in the ground now, and these gonna grow up, and we also feed from their leaf. Okay? So guys, I don't garden like everybody because I think about what I'm growing, and it gotta make sense to me. Whatever I'm growing have to make some kind of sense to me, because I'm looking for food. I'm looking for food. I'm not just planting because I can plant. And these type of food, if you have these growing, you always have food in the ground until harvest time. Now, if you're growing sweet pepper, sweet potato, the sweet potato vines, especially the young sweet potato vines, a lot of people eat them, and a lot of people say they taste just like spinach. Let me show you. Like these. These are the young potato vines. You eat these, and you understand. So what I'm saying is, these crop, you could eat from their leaf, and then in the fall, you harvest their root. So you eating the nutrients, the nutritious leaf, even a pumpkin leaf too. Even though the young pumpkin leaf, let me see first. Yes. Even though the young pumpkin leaf, these, the shoot, people eat them. I eat them as well. You see, the young shoot them, people eat them. So this is how I grow my food. I grow food that can feed you from through their leaf, and also feed you through their roots. It have to make, that's how I look at it. I know everybody in different situation, different, so I understand everyone's situation, and everyone is, situation is different. Some people's space might be a little smaller than some people might, but if you have a little space in your backyard and you're growing something, make use of that space. Grow things that can feed you. Grow things that you and your family love, that can actually feed you. Like I'm telling you, when I'm growing these, right? These are eddos. When I'm growing these push fresh leaf really fast. And every time I put the fresh leaf, what I do, I take the fresh leaf and I, store them in the, wash them, store them. And then when I ready, I say, all right, let me go and make some callaloo. Meanwhile, the okra be coming in at the same time. So now you're making the callaloo and the okra. That is really healthy food right there. With the edo leaf, where we call callaloo, and the okra leaf, that's healthy food. So you actually, and not the okra leaf, the okra plant. The okra itself like this. Cook up with edo leaf, that's healthy food. So what I'm saying is, I'm growing the things that can feed me twice. Meaning, feed me all during the spring, all during the summer, and then in the fall, we harvest their roots and also have food to eat. These also can grow in container. So I'm just giving you ideas, guys. This is what this channel is about. This channel is about giving ideas of a free garden. How can you create a free garden? Is it possible? Well, yes, it mightn't be possible for the first year, because for the first year you might want to you might have to buy seeds, or you might have to buy, okay, this is peanuts right here. You might have to, and you always leave back some in the ground, because they do come back during the year, in the spring. Yeah. So you see all these little one here? You could leave them back in the ground, and they're gonna come back during the spring season. You just get the mature ones them, and once you get the mature one, you just leave the small one back in the soil, and they're gonna come back during the spring. I don't know if you guys know about burdock. If you don't know about it, or you never saw it before, I know you heard it before. So these are burdock right here, guys. These are burdock. Now, these burdock, I love burdock. I love to use their leaf and juice their leaf. I love to juice their leaf. I love to juice their leaf. And we also learn how that burdock is it's a very healthy plant. Their root is very, very healthy, right? I could harvest these, but I'm not gonna harvest them this year. I'm gonna harvest them next year. So by next year, their root gonna be more big and maybe more powerful. So we're gonna happen. They're gonna happen. I'm gonna harvest out all these leaves, all of them, and juice them. But what's gonna happen if you don't harvest the leaf? They're gonna dry down to the ground. And when they dry down to the ground, they're gonna come right back up in the spring. So, and next year they're gonna produce seed as well. So you have to, if you as a gardener and you have the space, you have to start out your garden. Yes, starting it out, you might have to buy seeds, you might have to buy plants. But if you do it in a way where you saving your seed, you're starting your seed from indoors, you're replanting stuff that could stays in the ground, you always make sure you leave few things back in the ground just to make sure that in the spring they come back up. All right? In the spring, when the springtime come, This garden does almost full of food without me doing anything. Without me doing anything, the garden full of food. Why? Because I already prepared a garden the year before, which is the fall. You plant stuff that you know gonna come back in the spring. All right? You already know you have to save seed for the next garden season. You already know that. These are some nice healthy burdock plants right here. You already know that. So what you do, you make sure you save your seed. This is a must, guys. This is the only how you can have grow a free garden. If you don't do it this way, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, especially for a new gardener. For the new gardeners, guys, it can be costly if you don't know what you're doing. When I say know what I'm doing, what you're doing, if you just doing it rapidly, like going out there, you go out there and you buying these expensive containers. You going out there and you buying these soil, all type of soil and all this kind of stuff. You going out there and you buying all kind of plants. Before you know it, you might don't spend $500-600 before you know it. You see what I'm coming from? But if you really sit down and plan it out and listen to people who doing these type, growing these type of way, it can really help you. All right? Yes, there's many content creators out here that do gardening, but everybody do it in their own style and fashion. Some people prefer to go with a truck by the store and buy a bags of compost. Some people, and I'm not gonna blame them for that. If that's what they wanna do, that's fine. But some people will go with a truck and load it up by the store and just buy a pile of compost, right? I know I'm not doing that. So it's different, but I can't tell the person, oh, you shouldn't go to the store and buy. No, I cannot do that. That person got to know why they're doing that. But you as the person who looking in, you who looking in, you have to look at it and say, is that I want to do? Is that I want to do? I really want to go out there and buying bags of compost, causing me hundreds of dollars, buying all different type of stuff, calling me hundreds of dollars to do a garden. Is that I really want to do, which it chase a lot of people. Because sometimes you talk to people and when they want to start, but because it's too expensive, they change their mind. That's too much. I can't spend all the money to start a garden. So you have to, you got to be, even though you watching a person, you got to make up your own mind to know, do I really want to spend that type of money? Or do I want to go another road? Which the another road is what I'm teaching, is what I'm sharing the information. The other road, which is using what you have and being successful. That's the road we're taking. But at the same time, we're not telling no one not to go and purchase anything. We're not doing that. We're just showing you whether you could use what you have, all your weeds that you pull up in your garden, all the plants that you grow, reuse their leaf. All the leaf that fall from the tree, scrape them up, throw them in your raised bed, throw them in your container. That's how you're gonna able to create a garden for free. All right, it's not. Let me explain this to you guys. It's not about how much you spend. That's not the success. Oh, I spent $1,000 in my garden this year. But how much did you harvest? You spent $1,000. How much did you harvest? Did it worth the $1,000? Or I did not spend any money this year, or I spent $10 this year, but my garden was a success. Which one you prefer to hear? Because you could spend $1,000 and still your garden ain't success. Still you're not able to get a successful garden. All right? You could spend $1,000 and still you don't have a successful garden. And you could spend $20, $50 and be very successful. So it depends on the route you want to take. So I'm not here to tell you which road to take. You got to know the route you want to take. But for me, I rather take the route. I might have to work a little harder to get my compost, to get the leaf them and all of that. But at the end of the day, the result is always amazing. So you got to decide that. And this is for mostly the young gardeners because, and there's a lot of young gardeners coming out today, and people need information. People need information. So my thing is follow your mind. And whatever you decide to go, you go to that route. Also, sometimes you got to follow the people who can take you where you want to go. Because the distraction is for real, guys. The distraction is real. And there's a lot of people, some people do it for content, some people do it for feed their family. So also is what you decide. Okay? Is what you decide. But I think for what I seen with my own eyes, with what I seen with my own eyes, using the leaf that grows up in my garden, the leaf that fall from the trees, the tree limb that falls and break down and break up, and you add it into your soil, the weeds you add into your soil. For what I see, no one could convince me to use anything out there. I'm being honest. For what I see with my eyes, for what I see with my eyes, I'm not going to allow no one to convince me to go and use other things that I know. I seen someone throw some stuff around their plant, right? And it seems like they put too much around their plant. And whatever happened is, the thing dried down the plant stem. Naturally burn down the plants. What is in that? That if you put too much, it burn down your plant. What could be in that it actually burn down your plant? So this is why I'm not interested in them type of stuff, because if that's so dangerous that you put it around the root and it burn down your plant, nah, I can't use them type of stuff, guys. So this is why I'm gonna stick to what I'm doing, because the result I'm getting, a lot of people is not getting them type of result. So I'm gonna stick to what I'm doing, which is natural gardening. gardening the natural way, gardening for free, gardening for cheap, and still be successful. How are you guys doing on this beautiful day? I hope you guys doing wonderful. All right, so right now, guys, still a harvest to do. Still have harvest to do right at this moment. Because we hit in the last days, and because we hit in the last days, we trying to, you see, I don't start to overwinter my plants them. You see? Don't start to overwinter them, digging them out the ground and put them in the ground. Just a few herbs, not too much. This one as well, sweet stevia. You see the sweet stevia have seeds to harvest. This, I got to dig this out the ground as well. All right, so not much, just a few things, dig them out and put them in the ground. So that's another way how to free garden. Another way for a free garden is digging plants out the ground, put them in the container, keep them in a nice warm place indoors, and bring them out in the spring. Sometimes when you bring them out in the spring, one of the plants can turn into 5 plants. All right? One of the plants can turn into 5 plants. That's how it works sometimes. Okay? This is one that I need to get out to. This one here. This is another one. This is a calancho. This I have to take up. But now, this calancho here is one plant, right? But no, this plant could turn into like 5, 6, 7 different plants. So this is ways of multiplying your crop as well. So you had one there, this could turn into 5 different plants in the spring when you bring them on. You separate their root, and just like that, you have more plants. So every year your garden get bigger and bigger, and you're not spending any money. This is the thing. You're not spending anything, and your garden just expanding. So now we have lemongrass here, which these need to come out too. Need to get them out very fast. We have like 7 of them. So we're gonna take out maybe like 3 of them and allow the other 4 to go back to the yard. Now when the spring come, we can separate the root. So this is what I'm saying. It's about multiplying your crop every year. So every year your crop just getting bigger and bigger, and it ain't costing you any money at all. If you have a space, in your backyard, all you got to do, guys, create a little small area. And all the weeds that you take up, everything that you take up, you just throw them in a pile. You see? You just throw them in a pile and allow them to break down. When they break down, they become real food for your plants. All right? So this is good ways of being successful, growing a natural garden, and also not spending a bunch of money at the same time. All right? So we have a lot of harvest for do right at this moment. We have more edibles to harvest, which is between these pumpkin. The only reason why we didn't harvest them because the pumpkin vines We didn't want to damage the pumpkin vines. But we still have, all this is edibles. All this is food, we still have to have it. We need, so this whole area here is full with edibles. Oh, we have a nice pumpkin coming in there as well. We have a next one up there. We have one coming in down there. So even at this point, our garden is still producing pretty well. Nice pumpkin coming along there, see it? Yes. So this is the reason why we didn't harvest these edibles over here as yet. Because of these pumpkin vines. The pumpkin vines run through the edibles. So we have to wait until we gotta wait until we harvest the pumpkin first before we look at the edibles then. Yeah, look at another pumpkin right up there. So this is it, guys. We create this garden and we did not spend a dime this garden season. Not even penny we spend. And we plant potato, we plant pumpkin, we plant edibles, we plant dasheen, we plant okra, we plant tanya, we plant cabbage, we plant collard greens, we plant broccoli, we plant cauliflower, we plant eggplant, we plant all different type of peppers, we plant peanuts, we plant burdock, we plant tomato, all different type of stuff we plant, and we did not spend a dime. All right, we save our seed. That's how we do it, guys. We save our seeds. This is my bell pepper patch, guys. This is bell pepper right here. I'm standing between. Naturally bell pepper trees. There's still so much. There's still so much bell pepper to harvest, but my goal is I'm allowing everything. This is almost my last crop for this garden season, but I'm basically allowing everything to ripe in. I have some on my 9-foot bell pepper tree over there. I'm, I'm allowing everything to ripen and turn red because I also want to save a lot of seed as well. But this is a bell pepper patch right here. Full, all these. 6 feet, 7 feet, 9 feet tall bell pepper trees. Yes. So guys, just want to thank you all again. Appreciate each and every one of you. This live is about free gardening. And it's not impossible at all. Not impossible at all. And my goal is, my thing is, guys, this pepper tree produced for months. You know what I'm saying? Months. Let me tell you, months. This pepper tree was producing for months, and at this point, this never stopped. They're still producing unto today. Even my bell pepper them for months, and they never stop. So all I'm trying to do is give you the information and show you proof at the same time. That's my goal. Give the information and show you proof at the same time. All right, these are pigeon peas here. This thing is they're now pushing, they're now getting ready to push flowers, which is way too late. So all these I'm gonna break them down and I'm gonna put them back in the soil. Because we also know that they add a lot of nitrogen to our soil. So the leaf them, you could also take these leaf and make nitrogen. Because if it add nitrogen in the soil, then if you take the leaf and put it in water and allow it to break down, it's definitely gonna draw the nitrogen in the water, and you could feed your soil with that as well. So there's many ways, guys, many ways how to be successful. So many ways, and you doing your own research, it might just work out perfect for you. All right. So we're going live back in like 10 minutes because we're going by our outdoor kitchen and we want to give some update. It was raining. My goal today was, sorry guys, because my goal today was to continue building the shed in the forest because we have content where we go live in the forest and we build in a shack and we cook in the forest as well. So today was the day for that, but we had some rain, so I didn't want to go and do that today. And then I couldn't do the outdoor kitchen because there was also rain. So I'm gonna end this live and then I'm gonna go over by the outdoor kitchen and start over a live that we can do, that we can talk. All right? So you guys have a blessed and wonderful day, and you could join me in the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes. Thank you all. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Peace.